2024 Subaru Crosstrek First Look Review, Function over Form. Subaru has carved a distinct niche for itself in the crossover space. If you need a vehicle of this kind with a modicum of off-roading capability, few do it better than Subaru. That includes more road-biased rivals like the Hyundai Kona and Mazda CX-30. For the last decade or so, the subcompact Crosstrek has been its smallest crossover, and the third-generation model will once again be one of the entry points into the Subaru lineup. Revealed in Japan initially, the 2024 Crosstrek retains Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system and comes with an e-Boxer hybrid powertrain. A subtly redesigned exterior and a new 11.6-inch touchscreen display inside form part of the updates to this tough little crossover. When is the Subaru Crosstrek coming out? As the 2023 Subaru Crosstrek has already been announced in the USA, we expect the release date for the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek to be sometime in 2024. It will be coming out in 2023 or later in Japan at first before arriving in other markets. 2024 Subaru Crosstrek price and competition. Value is always an important consideration in this segment, but we don't know what the price of the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek will be yet. The 2023 Crosstrek begins at $23,645, making it particularly affordable. The new one will probably start at around $25,000 when it arrives here. The Subaru isn't the cheapest option in its segment, however. There's the classy Mazda CX-30, which starts at $22,500 MSRP for the 2022 model, and the 2023 Hyundai Kona will cost at least $21,990. Neither of these vehicles is as adept on the rough stuff as the new Subaru Crosstrek crossover, though. New Subaru Crosstrek exterior and colors. Debonair design isn't a Subaru strength, but the Japanese brand has never had to rely on such fripperies to sell vehicles. This, then, is not the prettiest crossover. But it has a playful, rugged appearance that will once again find favor with outdoorsy types. The exterior of the Subaru Crosstrek once again has plenty of black cladding on the bumpers and wheel arches for extra protection. The grille is larger and the slimmer LED headlights now flow more naturally into it. 18-inch alloy wheels are equipped to upper trims, but 17s are used on base models. At the back are protruding fenders and rather fussy tail light clusters, but again, it has that adventure-ready look to it. A total of 9 colors will be available for the Subaru Crosstrek, with offshore blue metallic and oasis blue among them. The availability of colors may differ in the USA, however. Subaru Crosstrek dimensions. There have been only minimal changes in size between the new Crosstrek and the old one. Dimensions for the Subaru Crosstrek are now 176.4 inches in length, 0.1 inch less than before, 70.9 inches in width, also 0.1 inch less, and 62.2 inches in height. At 105.1 inches, the wheelbase has grown by a negligible 0.2 inches. Surprisingly, there has been quite a substantial drop in ground clearance from 8.7 inches to 7.9 inches. The Mazda CX-30 has more ground clearance than that, but again, the US-spec Crosstrek may end up with different specs. The Japanese spec Crosstrek's curb weight is between 3,395 and 3,571 pounds depending on the trim. Subaru Crosstrek engine and performance. In Japan, the Subaru Crosstrek's 2.0-liter engine is supplemented with an electric motor. Called the e-Boxer, we don't know what the outputs of this hybrid powertrain are just yet, but it does have a Lineartronic continuously variable transmission. Should it retain the outputs of the current Crosstrek, which uses the same configuration in Japan, it will have 143 horsepower and 139 lb-ft of torque, close to the same outputs as the current Crosstrek plug-in hybrid sold here. It's not much at all, but the Crosstrek has always been rather underpowered. In the USA, we may very well see the current 4-cylinder engines carry over to the 2024 model. That includes a lazy 2.0-liter with 152 HP/145 lb-ft and a better 2.5-liter with 182 HP/176 lb-ft. In the current US-spec crosstrek, a 6-speed manual or CVT can be mated with the smaller engine, but the 2.5-liter only has access to the CVT. We wouldn't be surprised if the manual is discontinued altogether for the 2024 crosstrek. A 0 to 60 miles per hour sprint time of about 9 seconds for the current 2.0-liter is noticeably sluggish, whereas the 2.5-liter shaves over a second off that time. As mentioned, Subaru's symmetrical AWD system will be standard fare. Gas mileage. Although the e-Boxer promises greater efficiency, we won't know what its EPA-rated figures are unless it is confirmed for the USA. If the new crosstrek retains the current model's engines, expect around 28/33/30 mpg city/highway/combined for the 2.0-liter CVT, and a much more inefficient 22/29/25 mpg with the manual. The larger 2.5-liter CVT slots between these two with 27/34/29 mpg. These numbers are yet another reason that the manual is unlikely to be retained. A maximum range of almost 498 miles is possible with the existing crosstrek based on its 16.6-gallon gas tank. The crosstrek hybrid can manage 35 mpg combined, according to the manufacturer. Subaru crosstrek interior and cargo. The current Subaru crosstrek's interior is hardly luxurious, but it is also simple and durable. For the 2024 model, the space is dominated by a new 11.6-inch center touchscreen display. That's almost twice the size of the standard 6.5-inch display in the entry-level 2023 crosstrek, and Apple CarPlay/Android Auto should be joined by all the other connectivity essentials one expects to find in a modern crossover. The shapes are a bit more interesting than before, although predominantly gray materials still dominate based on the pictures shared in Japan. Cloth covers the seats of the base Subaru crosstrek, but leather will be offered as an option. Subaru claims that the seats support and align the pelvis, reducing the swaying motions of the vehicle from reaching one's head. Those who suffer from motion sickness will surely appreciate such a design. For the first time in a Japanese spec Subaru, a wide-angle mono camera that can identify motorcycles and pedestrians with a wider viewing angle will be available, improving the effectiveness of the pre-collision system. A digital multi-view mirror that creates a 360-degree, 3D top-down view is another high-tech addition to the EyeSight driver assistance suite that has contributed to the brand's sterling reputation for safety. We don't know how much cargo space the Subaru crosstrek will have, but hopefully, it's a bit more than the current model's 20.8 cubic feet. A 60/40 split folding second row will make it possible to load bulkier items, too.